The second pregnancy can again cause your abdominal wall to become weak and develop another hernia. Hi, I'm Dr. Deepak Subramanian from Chennai Gastro Care. There are lots of myths, doubts, or unclear thoughts when it comes to pregnancy and hernia. Now, there is a false belief that pregnancy itself can lead to hernia. No, it is not the case. So that means every single pregnant woman will probably be developing a hernia. No, it's not the case. It is the adequate amount of exercise that one does during pregnancy and the general abdominal wall musculature of a woman, of a particular woman, which can lead to weakness of the abdominal wall. It never per se leads directly to a hernia. That hernia is a defect or a hole in the abdominal wall musculature. Now, when your abdominal wall is weak, and that gets weak when you have a baby inside you for a pregnant lady. And what happens is once the baby is delivered and the uterus shrinks back to its normal size, the abdominal wall musculature is still lax. In that particular period, in that particular few phases of a few months, if adequate exercises and toning is not done for these muscles by means of exercise, it can probably later on lead to a hernia. Now, when it comes to hernia and pregnancy, one thing which we always say to our patients, for example, if there is a lady who's just undergone a first labor, her first child delivery has just been conducted, and then 6 months later she comes back to me with a small hernia in the belly button and abdominal wall weakness. We don't say we should go for surgery immediately. The first step that I tell them and tell these patients is to go for good abdominal wall strengthening exercises. Sometimes with just good strengthening exercises, this muscle can actually get the tone back and the hernia can completely disappear to an extent. Now, in spite of that, if they continue to have a hernia, the next thing that we tell these patients is, do you want to plan for a second child? Now, it is always better to plan and complete your childbirth with your husband. Plan that before you address the hernia, because if you address a hernia between two pregnancies, what can sometimes happen is the second pregnancy can again cause your abdominal wall to become weak and develop another hernia. So we say generally complete your family, come back to us, and the hernia can be sorted out at that point. Thank you.